First of all, thank you for watching this presentation video. My name is Noval and Fidaus, accompanied with my friends Fari, Fatih, and Dimas. And in this video, we'd like to present our capstone project titled Wacayang. The background of this project is that we all know that wayang is part of our culture, but as stated by famous wayang puppeteer Kim Matap Sudarsono, wayang popularity keeps declining. And one of the causes is that people lack knowledge about wayang, and after all, wayang has many types, characters, and stories, so it might be impossible for non-expert to memorize them. To put it simply, our goal is to maintain wayang's preservation. To achieve this, we want to make people easily recognize wayang characters and popularize puppeteer and the wayang shows. There is some existing solution to this problem, and one of the interesting ones is from Google Art and Culture website. It has a lot of features but lacks some important ones, such as no searching feature, no prediction by image, no relevant video per wayang, and no detailed story about each wayang. So from what we learned is that we want to improve some features and make the solution as a mobile app called Wacayang. Therefore, people can easily access Indonesian wayang information. Let's take a look at what Wacayang can do. So to wrap up, Wacayang provide information and story about wayangs. You can also search by text or discover wayang using ML image prediction. It also has personalization that you can save your favorite wayangs on your personal library. You can also post comments to share your thoughts about wayangs. It also provides two languages, Bahasa Indonesia and English. So our core technologies are we use Android Studio IDE as to develop the app, REST API and database on KCP as service, and then ML model based on TensorFlow and Keras. There is a simple graph on how we integrate the three learning paths. So basically our app will send network request to the cloud service. The cloud service will authenticate the token, choose a backend app depending on the request. After that, the service will return the JSON as a response to the app request.
For cloud computing, API creation using Node.js and Flask, and the database for MySQL or SQL. In the deployment application, using a GCP platform for a cloud run. There is a table relation in the database. In the Wacayang application, there are 4 tables that are interconnected through the user ID field owned by the user. It can be seen that each user has a user ID as their unique ID. If the user has a user ID, then the user can be add favorite wayang and the comment on the wayang they are looking for or mark as a favorite wayang. The two tables have a relational to the wayang table, where in this table, the user can search for the wayang that used for deployment using Cloud Run on the GCP platform. It can be seen that there are 2 file storage in the Cloud Run as deployment to the Wacayang application. API documentation is made Postman documentation to make it easier to developers to manage or use the API. There are several methods that exist in the Wacayang application, such as the get and post method. They are needed because the get method is for displaying requests from user, and post is need to write or add to user request. There is an accessibility link for Wacayang documentation.
For the machine learning part, we aim to build a model that's capable of classifying various types of wayang. The model created with TensorFlow using convolutional neural network that proven works better on image. Transfer learning also used to increase the model performance. We used an architecture such as DenseNet 1-to-1, Inception v3, and ResNet 152 v2. The model saved in a Keras model format for the purpose of deployment in the cloud. We use a wayang image dataset. This dataset contains 1,650 wayang images divided into train, validation, and test file. This dataset has 5 wayang classes, namely Bagong, Cepot, Gareng, Petruk, and Semar. You can access the dataset from the link below, or you can see the clean dataset at our GitHub later. And move on to the model improvement. The first thing we do is creating a baseline model. The baseline model contains simple convolutional neural network that contain convolution layer, max pooling layer, flatten layer, and dense layer, as you can see on the left side of the screen. From this model, we got 0.86 test accuracy and 0.447 test loss. And to improve the model accuracy and reduce the loss of the previous model, we use transfer learning. This time we use DenseNet 1-to-1 to do a transfer learning. We got 0.98 test accuracy and 0.018 test loss, and a really stable accuracy and model loss on the graphic. And the next thing we do is doing a transfer learning on an Inception v3 architecture. From Inception v3 architecture, we get 0.993 test accuracy and 0.15 test loss. And the last architecture that we try to do a transfer learning is on the ResNet 152 v2 architecture. In this architecture, we get really high performance with test accuracy 1 or close to 1, and we also got 0.000041 test loss, which is very low. And the accuracy and loss here is not a training and validation accuracy. This is the accuracy and loss from the test file that we have in the dataset before. For that particular and more detailed information about the training and validation accuracy, you can access it in our GitHub later.
Okay, how other people can replicate our steps? Well, we have created the documentation on GitHub, so please refer to that. But to put it simply, here's how you do it. So first, you copy the app from our Android project and then connect the project to the Firebase Alpha. You create the SQL instance and the required tables. You can use our model, or you can train your own model and then deploy that model and the REST API that you have created to the CloudFront, and then release the Android app that can make a network request to your cloud services.
Okay, for the next part, I want to present about our go-to-market proposal for Wacayang. So first of all, there's introduction, which has already been explained, and then for the statistic based on Badan Pusat Statistika, only 7.79% of Indonesian population is 5 years or older watch wayang theater. So this is our backgrounder, which has been explained earlier. This is our introduction, which also has been explained earlier, and this is our screenshot of the apps. So the next section is target market. We target people around age 6 to 64 years old. Profession is all profession, and roles we specifically aim for Android user and tourists for right now. So this is our target market needs. We divide it into 4 different aspects. The first one is purpose driven, second is data driven, government reasoning, and relevant stakeholders. So our roadmap contain 1 year of progress with 8 different aspects. The first one is commercial value, second one is business opportunity, demand and supply, technology advantage, science breakthrough, tackling bigger problems, the benefit for long term, and indirect effect. So for the next part, we want to explain about our possible pilots for the next 6 months. With in total, we spend around $5,120 or around 72.5 million rupiah for 3 different roles in IT developer, marketing, and manager. So our project milestone for 2022, we start in July. We want to deploy our product, monitoring issue, market research, and promoting our new release product. And in August, we want to fix any issues, promoting products, and measure customer satisfaction. September, we want to improve our UI UX based on the feedback and adding revenue stream. And in October, we want to create MOU with relevant company. And in December, we want to do performance review, adding more resource, and reach 10,000 app users. And for budgeting, for $5,000 funding or $70 million, we split it into 25% for team salaries and 75% for research and operational. And for our 10K US dollar funding or 140 million rupiah, we split it into 40% in infrastructure, 25% into team salary, 10% on research and op, competitive analysis 5%, 15% for R&D, and 10% for other expenses. So for our sustainability, we have 3 main sources of income. The first one is in-app advertising, donation, and passive funding. And for our efficient priority, there's first one and the most important one is running with bare minimum operations, find appropriate service and third-party vendors. Third one is marketing campaign, and fourth one is improving our user experience. For the budgeting expectation, we expect 5K funding. For 5K fundings, we expect 6 months of runaway, 5 employees. Market positioning is differentiation, which means we want to differentiate ourselves with other similar products. And for assets, we have mobile apps, knowledge, intellectual properties, and data. For 10K fundings, we also have similar expectation. For the runaway, we expect 1 year, and for employee, we expect 7 people. For market positioning is differentiation, and for assets, similar, but we add co-working spaces.